No.
I typed.
All good.
Oh, all good.
Thank you, Michael. Michael, how you feeling?
Good, very good. Thank you very much for asking.
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay, so now do we have any citizens' comments? Everyone can hear? Yes, sir. Do we have to go through and ask everyone or?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
All right, so student board member.
I don't really have any.
Okay.
Well, you come in, you get the snake, you get nothing else. How's it, Jameson, how's it going? Yeah, how does morale seem with kids?
They seem happy.
Yeah? Nice. Looking forward to all the holiday stuff for school?
Yeah, concert tomorrow.
That's right.
Nice.
That's right. So the concert tomorrow. Anything else? Any other upcoming events that we want to be aware of?
The winter bazaar thing Saturday.
Outstanding. Are students working that?
Not sure.
Okay. Awesome. Great. Thank you.
Now we are at superintendent's report.
Very much.
Heading right through this.
I mean, obviously, it's been super busy with budget. That's been the primary focus of the SLT and the SAU staff. And like what we have, I like what Jane's going to share. But we have done a few other things. You have with you a copy of the strategic plan, and it's 99% final form. There's a spot in the introduction that still lists the campus as 115 acres.
Oh.
It's not quite that large. It's actually 19.
See, I was thinking it was 15.
It was a placeholder, and I just got to get back to Sean. He's actually already fixed it, and I'm sure he'll send it to me. But Sean Leary, I thought, did an amazing job taking what you received at our last meeting, which he attended, and putting it into, putting his graphic designer hat on and then producing this document for us, which on paper looks great. It's amazing digital, which is how it will mostly live. Jeannie Sturgis also spent last week finalizing with him on all the edits that we had suggested. When he sent this to us, we shared it with the team. The team provided their edits for language, for looks, for some grammar, some photos. So there's only one stock photo, which is the cover photo. All of the other photos are our Hinsdale students. And so Jeannie did a nice job in working with Sean. The whole team did an amazing job, I think. And for not having a strategic plan that was really community built for such a long time to have this. I know April's really excited about it. I'm really excited about it. And so with that only really being the one edit, we were hoping that the board had the opportunity or would like to go ahead and move forward and approve it tonight. Because the guts of it didn't change. What we shared with you a month ago was a little bit more detailed in the actual activities. But what we now would like to do is have this approved so we can move forward as part of our budgeting process in the event that there needs to be anything in the budget that addresses some of the goals, but also to really start to market it. As I wrote in my report, our goal is to make sure that everyone in town has a link to it to see it. We want to return to send a postcard that's going to have some information on it for people to go to our budget page, our finance page. So any household would be able to click the link and go to it. Same thing with the strategic plan. It would be on that same postcard. And try to work to get that designed ourselves, so all we would pay for is the low cost post, what we like to call the slow boat to China postage, the bulk rate. So that's that for tonight, and I think that's on for board business as well on the agenda, and so that discussion could take place at that time. Okay. Campus security team update, obviously with the federal shutdown that I hear is rumored to be stopping soon. We were going to be participating in a couple of different training sessions. Those were waylaid because we clicked the link and nobody was there. So we're hopeful that we can return to that. We do have our security grant application paperwork in hand. Jane's working with Nate, who is with us online. He has just about all the costs for what we want to do to build up our 2 vestibules, our locked entryways. Justin's already provided information on some of the technology with surveillance cameras and such. So that is going in, and it's a non-competitive grant this time, so it doesn't matter if you get it in first, you get funded first. It's open until December 3rd, and there's quite a bit of money in there. It's about $10 million that the state's ready to give out to schools that need money to help build the infrastructure. Hardscape.
Does the shutdown affect that? Like can you submit?
We can, because this is state money that's already been received.
Oh, okay.
It's federal money that the state already has.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And we are offering on Monday and Tuesday of Thanksgiving week, CPI, or Crisis Prevention Institute, as well as NCI, which is our advanced physical skills. We're offering that to all staff. So we'll have just about our entire campus staff certified at CPI, which is it's important to do that from a liability perspective, because if we have an altercation between a staff member and a student who is dysregulated, we want to make sure that there's everyone's safe, but also that the organization is protected from liability. And then finally, as you know, I was in New York last week, full week. I'm going to recommend, we've all recommended to the College Board, we not do that again, where we combine the regional council with the national conference, because a week away was way too much. I was looking for train ride home on Thursday afternoon. And clearly everyone else was thinking the same thing because they were also out. Yeah, so, but a lot of really good stuff. 2 really cool courses I wanted to bring back. I've talked with Ms. Roth about already. These are AP Career Kickstart courses, so they're geared more towards people who want to go into the workforce. One is AP Cybersecurity, and the other is AP Business Principles and Personal Finance. And so we're going to talk about how we would roll that out, who would be teaching that, what that looks like over the next couple of years. I listed some of the courses or some of the programs that I did attend. I went to as much rural school sessions as I could. Learned a lot. We were way ahead a lot of districts, but we also have some cool stuff that we could be doing. So I'll be sharing that. And then the presentation on the AP Rural Collaborative presented to university and college enrollment managers, as well as other superintendents and principals. There were about 50 or so in the room. All had a bunch of questions. We'll be doing some follow-up with that. So that's a project that people want to put in their districts from around the country, and soon we may have a bigger regional or larger network across the country sponsored by the College Board, where our students can take AP courses online with kids from Indiana or Illinois, Texas, and California, not just Gorham or Berlin. So yeah, so it was a great week to spend away, but it was just too long. I'd much rather they break it up like they always have in the past. All at no cost to the district. Yeah, we do love that. So other than that, it's been pretty much, working with all staff, keeping staff moving, as which starts to get that sick time, that cold and flu season. We're getting close to holidays. Some of the stress is starting to build, and so really working with SLT to manage people and personnel. And it's taking up a lot of energy and time, but it's a good group, so everyone's doing the best that they can. And I do only have only one non-public item, which will be brief. Right? So that concludes my report. I'm happy to answer any questions that anyone had. The picture in the report was actually from the hotel room. It's the 40th floor. I think I saw my house from it, because I've never been 40 stories high.
Really?
Unless I've been in a plane. So, from New Hampshire.
Really something.
You don't go to the big city often.
I do. We just never get that. I never get that high. 40th floor.
Jane, your report is.
I know, love,
Really
you're really
intense.
sticking with the theme, I'm loving it.
Audit and budget.
This is going really well, April, so
Yeah.
we got this down.
Oh, no.
We're moving right along.
We're co-vice chair.
How much is April up to donating to the charities we've been talking about?
A lot.
Her
Her car.
And
You
now
just
you're
checked
in
the
charge
minutes.
of everything.
Sorry about being late.
Yeah, and now we're on Jane's report, which is lengthy and gonna take so much time.
Madam Chairperson, you have my report for members of the board. As you can see, it's pretty much been, working on the budget. We will be receiving a draft version tonight of that.
Perfect.
Yeah, I will probably give it to you in non-public, because there'll be some items I'll be explaining on that. The audit seems to be going okay. Just got my actuarial report in on Monday. I've uploaded that for the auditors. That was one of our open items. That's like 20 pages of their financial statements. Oh, yeah, GASB 75, it's a lot. So, other than that, we're just waiting if they have any more requests of us, but I think they've kind of moved on. They'll come back and pick at it over the next couple months. But, so, yeah. Any questions?
Well, you answered the only question I had. That's the draft, the first draft of the budget.
I'm good. I think we're on. Director of Academics and Career Readiness. Karen.
Madam Chair, members of the board, I have my report. I will say that this month has been, as you can see from the list, it's been extremely busy navigating 2 days of PD with all those offerings. Although when I look at the list, it doesn't look that long, but boy, it sure feels long. So we're we're knee deep in getting that ready for everybody. I'm really happy that this year we were able to put out a schedule for paras also, that will allow them to participate in choices that they choose to be part of. Although we've done that in the past, but we really tried to put a stronger focus on trying to fill those 2 days with opportunities for them too. So they have the opportunity to do collaborative work sessions too, which is a really nice thing for them. And yeah, it's been busy getting that ready. So those 2 days will be very full, and we should be having the schedule out to the teachers by Friday because they're anxiously waiting what's happening on those 2
I
days.
know it's cool.
Right, I know.
And you have an awesome list of ELO placements. That's crazy. That's so many places.
Yeah, we have some pretty far away this time, so, but the kids are getting themselves there and doing some great work. So I also kudos to the student agency group who interviewed every single student in the building through empathy interviews. Although I did just go through the list again, and there was like 2 advisories that didn't get everybody, so we have to get them, but they were able to get some pretty amazing data from the entire school. We just started to sort of synthesize that data, and when we go away to our student agency meetings in Concord, they give us a lot of group time, which is nice because I don't get that time with them, with that whole group often. So when we're away for the day, we'll be really taking the time to figure out how to synthesize that data and then how to tell that story of what the kids are asking for. So we're working hard on that. I'm really proud of the kids. Are doing a really nice job, and we have 4 new members, of which are middle school students. 3 are middle school, 1 is a high school.
Nice.
So that's really nice to have additional students involved.
Awesome. Any questions?
Work.
No. Good job.
Thank you.
All right, so we're on to principals reports. Anna?
Chair, members of the board, you have my report. October, specifically the second half of October, was very busy with NEAS, which went very well, and our first transition visit of the Winchester 8th graders, which was really awesome. I hope you all got a chance to see the picture at the end of their first the first class photo of.
That was so big.
I know. The future class of 2030. So that was very exciting. We got really good feedback from them and from the kids. So it was a really good day. And our NEASC visit was great. And one thing that really struck me is they said, you know, a lot of times they go on school visits and there has been a change of some kind, like things have taken a turn, but people don't always notice it or talk about it. In every group they talk to, parents, students, teachers, district level admin, spoke to the change over the last few years and how things have been shifting and improving. So they were happy to hear that, and I was happy to hear that. Jameson mentioned the concert tomorrow night, but what I was most proud of is that our band, Walmart had their grand reopening and they invited our band to play and offered to pay for the bus. And I just think it's really indicative of the progress that the band has made under Caleb's direction, and they're getting, you know, recognized and invited by our community partners, I think is really exciting. So I had the opportunity to pop over there and watch them, and it was really nice. Good to see them out in the community. Questions?
Will we see anything from NEASC from their visit?
Yes, it was 4 to 6 weeks from when they were here. So it's been 3 weeks.
Okay.
I'll get a draft of the report. I'll have time to respond. I think I can share the draft internally, but it never has to be a public document because it's not our actual accreditation, it's our self-study. So I could share the draft internally, but I have an opportunity to give feedback, and then it has to go in front of the NEASC board, which only meets quarterly.
Okay.
So before it's final. So I don't know exactly when that will be.
Okay.
Should I do my data now? Let me have it pulled up. So yes.
Whenever you want. Whatever works.
All right.
We're flexible.
I didn't know if it was later in the agenda. Okay. You can go over a slide. Last slide. Okay. First I have to mea culpa. I was not able to get into the PSAT data today, although I got an email that the scores were available. It said I had to contact my colleague Anna Roth to get access, and it was not working. So,
Hard to get in touch with her.
so that's not in there.
Right.
But you will see some other data for both middle and high school, and then incidents plus. So just a snapshot of last year. So total office referral incidents over time last school year. Over 150 every quarter, average of 73 incidents a month. And the highest was in October. We have seen that trend again this year. October, I mean, we're only a few months in, but October was higher than September, and November is looking to be. All that sugar. Yeah.
And they're comfortable again.
Yeah.
Again, this is last year, just comparing over the quarters. These are our most common offenses for the entire school year in terms of office referrals. Every 3 tardies, which nets a detention, derogatory comments, and then non-compliance. Excuse me. We started tracking, teachers track minor referrals, which are classroom managed behaviors and how they respond to it in the classroom. And they were as a way of us tracking when they need office level support with that. Chris looks for 3 things, which is classroom disruption, student noncompliance, and disrespect. And a cumulative 3 of those nets an office referral. So that those go in as student noncompliance. Okay, so this is just so far. We had a lot of referrals in October. The majority more in middle school than high school. And that the November data is just as of last week. I didn't update it this week. These are the categories that I reported on last year. So these are the ones I used again. They're not necessarily our most frequent. I don't know why, what happened there, the quarter should be on the left-hand column, but regardless, you understand the point. Right, academic data. So this is from the spring of 2025 New Hampshire SAS. The orange is English, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, and then the red is math, and the blue, purple is science, which was only 8th and 11th. So those are the percentage of each grade level that are proficient or above in those areas. And then SAT school day assessment, which was 11th and 12th graders last spring. This is, it gives the total test and then broken down by ELA and math for those students who achieved a level 3 and 4 combined in English and math. And then we just did our measures of academic progress assessments for the fall in 6th through 8th grade. So again, the orange is reading and the red is math. That's 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. And those will be done again in January. Questions? I have work to do.
Map, data looks like it's on the rise, though.
Math or map?
Map.
Not math. Not math.
Work to do, but hopefully going in the right direction.
Any questions for Anna?
Mhm. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. Dr. Gavin?
Seems like the last month was about a year long. I'm pretty sure. We implemented new cycles related to our MTSS process. So last year, one thing that was tricky was we sort of had 3 systems not working together. We had sort of the tier 1 general education, then we had Title I services happening and special education services happening, and we weren't in sync throughout the year. And so one way that we put everybody in sync is one calendar. So we're all on these cycles together. And so we finished our first one. We had some bumps, but we've kept going. And every child at the elementary school has at least 2 goals, and they should know what those goals are. And so that's been really good. I was walking through a 3rd grade class this morning, and they have their goals right on their desk. And I was able to talk to a guy who was struggling through a spelling sheet, and but the academic goal was around vocabulary, and his social goal was around getting through hard things. And so I was able to just talk to him about that, and he got right back into it, right? And so that was like, that's the little moments that we want, so that everybody knows what goals kids are working on. We finished all of the benchmarking, which I'll talk about, and had our parent-teacher conferences, which were well attended. We've still not had any permanent applicants for our 3rd grade position, but our long-term sub is doing a great job. We're doing really well in that right now. And boy, are we still looking for a school nurse. So as you know about that, so just gave a little bit of information around that in terms of some of the impact that's having to our front office, including my own role and Ms. Bean's role. Hired a couple more Title I staff and are knee deep in budgeting as well. Wanted to shout out, thank you to the fire department for coming. The fire safety happened just after our last board meeting, so that was great, so thank you. And I know you guys had to navigate something really hard in the midst of it, and so that was tricky, and you guys just did a great job, so thank you.
Thank you.
And then the Lions Club did our vision screenings last week. And then Rachel, one of our bus drivers, donated a bunch of school supplies to us. So I just wanted to shout her out and thank her for that. And any questions before I go into my data stuff or our data stuff? All right. So I tried to give you some terms at the beginning, is if I get too acronymed. So in June, our end of year, results, so I'm gonna go to next. Sorry, there we go. So on the left is third grade, on the right is fourth grade, and at the bottom you'll see ELA and math. And so this is off of the new platform that the state has provided us, which Anna and I went to a training on. And we both, when we went to go do our data, we went to Nessus the way we always had, we had before, and it's not there. The state really wants us to use this other platform, so we did. So this just shows where the third grade and fourth grade were. And as you see, the last year's third grade, boy, did I have worry. And so I'm going to talk about something we did this summer and where we ended up. So there's a bit of a story with that. And then the next page is the fifth grade, which has ELA, math, and science. So that's indicated right at the bottom. So again, a lot of work to go. And so then I pulled out our current fourth graders. I lied. Our last year's fourth graders, because our fifth graders last year have moved on. Our last year's third graders is the first year. So last year's fourth grade, which is now our fifth grade. I just wanted to pull out how they grew between when they were third graders and when they were fourth graders. And so particularly in math, there was some nice growth between their third grade year and fourth grade year last year, and this is our current fifth graders. So I just wanted to do a vignette of a class we still had that we had 2 years of data on. And then we end of year, only K through 2 does end of year MAPS testing because the others take stats. So I wanted to share our math overall and our ELA overall for K to 2. And then I broke out math and K growth throughout last year. So that's between fall and spring. And so we were able to make some nice gains. In other spots, we still needed to target some things. One piece was, if you look at last year's second grade, which is now our third grade, we started to see a little bit of a slide. So in math, we were not going the direction we needed to, and in ELA, more significantly not going the direction. And so I'll talk about this summer something that we did to try and adjust for that. Our end of year M class, which is our next slide. So M class is what we use. We use Dibbles 8 is our universal dyslexia screener, which we're required to have. And so this it's a lot of rapid naming. So how fast they're reading. Each grade level does a different thing. There's different subtests that different grade levels do. And when they're a little older, they do the maze, which is a timed comprehension evaluation. And so at the end of year last year, we had 11 students noted at risk and 55 students at low risk. So overall, we had 66 students that were of concern in reading, that were flagging in the way that we were talking about. And so that's why our title staff support so many kids, because that doesn't necessarily just mean students who are served on IEPs. And then behavior last year, we didn't have the comparison that we will have next year because we didn't have Incidence Plus. So I just tried to sum up what we're dealing with at the end of last year. Throughout the year, our elopements had reduced, but we still were dealing with threats, aggression, property destruction most days. There was a lot of issues at recess. Some students in the most need by that time of the year had referrals to special education, but they were students that were of concern all year, and their programming sort of just had started that like Q4. We did have 3 first graders that I didn't send on a field trip last year. Those were the only kids that didn't go. Their behavior just was unsafe to go. And we had the paper-based system, which continued to mean that we couldn't track in a way that we would want. So over the summer, because of that fourth grade concern, the incoming fourth grade concern, which was third grade, we gave them a double wind block this year in the schedule. And our incoming third grade, which was the second grade that was starting to go backwards, has a longer wind block than other grades. We included Incidents Plus, like the middle high school had piloted to track and manage behaviors. I redesigned recess and lunch so we'd have mixed ages and grades to try and address some of those behavior issues we were having consistently. We reestablished expectations for certain ways that classrooms were set up so that kids could be collaborative and have the regulation spaces that they needed. And then we also did some stuff around Alice too. And our back to school work focused on students' capacity to learn and how it exists in the brain, to update how people think around students' capacity for change, and not using the word can't, those kind of things. And then we included co-teaching for kindergarten math. So now we're at the beginning of the year, NWEA. And so we are looking at some needs, certainly, but also some ways to shout out, and I will shout out that kindergarten again. And reading as well. So that's just where we're starting this year. And then at the beginning of year M class, we had 6 students at risk and 49 students at low risk. So that means 55 students who are flagging, whereas we ended the year with 66. Obviously, we did have a big 5th grade leave us. These aren't the same kids, but the number trend is going in the right direction. And then behavior. So I included our minor incidents. I think yours was mostly
Only
office referrals. And so I think you had like 160 something. We're at 184 office referrals. So not too far off, but I did include in your packet as a separate handout, a breakdown of all of the offenses and actions that we're taking for the office referrals and then the minor incidents as well. And this is a new system for us, right? So they piloted and we came on board, but so we're doing some nips and tucks, but it's been really good to start seeing those trends. So we're able to see Wednesdays are the bigger things, Mondays are the littler things. It's coming back from weekends are struggling with the classroom level needs. And one thing of note is that our issues are happening between 9 and 10 and 2 and 3. Recess and lunch have fixed by doing this mixed grade piece. We're getting a lot of good feedback around that. It's not a 0, but where it was last year was so high. And the other thing I just wanted to also highlight is we redid our student concern team process over the summer. And so of the students that have the higher frequency, so on the slides I did note, we have 6 students who have 10 to 15 office referrals, 11 with 5 to 9. All of those students who have those 17 have some sort of plan in place, whether it's an IEP or a 504 or a regulation plan or behavior plan through our student concern team. So we've caught them all. We're supporting all of them, which was a good check for me to do. And then for our minor incidents, the students who have the most frequent, 20 of the 23 have some sort of plan in place too. So so that tells us we're working on those more frequent kids, we're catching them, which is something that was really hard to do in a paper-based system all the time. And then just 2 points of sharing out. So that 4th grade, that was last year's 3rd grade that I was most concerned about, and we doubled up their wind block. I just wanted to show, oh my God. Yeah, so this is middle of year. NWEA, I should have said this is NWEA because they took the SAS at the end of the year. So this is their middle of year last year to their beginning of year this year for both math and reading. And so we see math, now that they're in 4th grade with that double win block, we are going well in the right direction now. Reading, we have some highlights, but we also have a little drift in this, like red went up by 2%, but yellow going up to 33 from those lower numbers. And having 4% blue, like we have some things going right there, but I just wanted to share that out, that we made a dated decision. We're seeing some things come out of that. And the last one is another dated decision related to kindergarten. So these are not the same students, different crop of kids, but last year's fall, this is for math, that we are co-teaching now. We have 39% of our kindergartners in the blue right now, which is above benchmark, 25 at. So that's a good step as well, because we need to improve everybody and roll the stronger grades up too. So just wanted to highlight those 2 stories.
I just want to add too, that we get hung up on achievement scores. I think it's important also to look at growth scores. And so using iPlatform that the Department of Ed gives out, I've just, when you look at and it only goes grades 4 through 8, because you need 2 consecutive years of assessment results, and that's the only way you're gonna be able to get it. We are right around the average at the middle high school in terms of growth since 2019. And so anywhere from 46 to 51% of our kids are making growth, which means it's academic or instructional impact from teachers. At the elementary school, they're more up in the 60s for math, anywhere from, there were consecutive years of being in the 50s in ELA, as well as math for grades 4 and 5. And so when we look at growth, what we're saying is that there's an impact on what teachers are having or doing with our students, even though the achievement scores aren't necessarily showing that.
Mm-hmm.
So growth is measured with peers across the state. So we're in the right direction. As both principals said, we're nowhere near what we want, but we're definitely doing the right work because the growth results are showing that. And I think that's an important part to keep in mind when we look at student achievement, and we talk with people as we get closer to town meeting, because this year on the warrant, we must state last year's SAS scores. We must write the scores of levels of proficiency for our students. And we want to make sure that everybody understands what that means when they go to vote for the budget or not vote for the budget.
Yeah, those are.
Thank you, both.
I think the growth scores.
Any questions for Molly? Thank you, Dr. Renner. IT.
Madam Chair, in my report, happy to answer any questions. Want to state that I was very impressed with your taking on the extra kids that are be coming in next year and coming back out flat and being so responsible with it. So thank you very much for your efforts there. That was a big overcoming.
It's not easy,
No.
for sure.
No.
That's crazy.
The beatings are working.
And is there only one student, because there's only one student interested in the robotics at this moment?
Just at that moment,
Yeah.
it's a student that needed, I guess, an alternative
I see, okay.
to be in class, yeah.
That's cool though.
It's one of the VEX rotations for
Yeah.
the middle school. This student just needed more support.
I see, okay, cool. Any questions for Justin?
No, it's an impressive feat.
Yes. Thank you, Justin. Director of Student Services.
Madam President and other school board members, you have my report. If you have any questions, I will be glad to answer them. I do want to say that today I had the opportunity to go with the life skills science class to, they've got funded for the Hinsdale educational funding
Oh, yeah.
for to go to a hockey game
Yes.
down in Springfield. Kids did fabulous.
Nice.
It was having 10,000 kids in there, it was really loud. I think my ears are still kind of ringing, but I wanna show this is the homework that came from the game. This is what the kids have to do since they come back. So it's not just that they went to go see a hockey game. There was a reason why they did it. You know, they're studying motion momentum in the science class, and this is the homework that they have, and they're gonna be working on it in the next 2 days in class as a reflection of the hockey game. So this is from the life skills science class. So Jess Green is the teacher. I wasn't supposed to be the chaperone, but one of the chaperones stepped out on Monday, so I cleared my schedule and I was able to go. So, but I'm so glad I did because I had a great time.
Can you explain to me, so I will understand?
Yes.
Your first paragraph with the received indicator 11, what does
Yep.
that mean exactly?
Indicator 11 is initial referrals. What it is that we had 27 initial referrals in the school year of 24-25, and we are 100% compliant with them because you have basically, once you get the referral, you have 15 business days to have a referral meeting. And then once if you move forward with evaluations, then once the permission slip is signed, then you have 60 days to do all of testing, have the meeting, and have parents sign the documentation from the referral meeting, from the evaluation meeting. So that means that we were 100% compliant with that, and in talking with other directors, actually today, because I do a director's corner with Southwest all the directors, no one was even close to that number. Most people were in 60s.
Oh.
So I'm very happy that and especially with 27 initial referrals, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot from last year. And that's what I was saying in the spring, that we are just getting referral after referral after referral. So that I'm very proud of the team for being able to accomplish that.
Excellent,
Yeah.
yeah, that's very good, thank you.
Mhm.
Just didn't understand it completely, so thank you for explaining.
Sure.
Any questions for Patty?
Great job.
Yeah. Yeah. I liked all the extra information too, that was good to see. I mean, fairness project I'm familiar with, so.
Well, I'll be honest, I asked Doctor, I'm like, should I include this? Because it's good, it's great information.
is.
And he was like, oh, absolutely. It was like, school board knows what this is. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
then I'm putting it in.
Yeah,
They're all about it.
Yeah.
thank you.
Yep.
All right, facilities director. Nate's not here.
I think he's online.
Okay.
It was online. Yeah, it's just Mason. Oh, no, there it is.
There he is. Hey, Nate.
Hello. So, Madam Chair, members of the board, you have my report. I'll answer any questions that you have.
Anybody have any questions?
Actually, the one question I have, the lighting project, is that still out of legal?
It should be good to go.
Okay, I was just, that's the
Yep.
last thing I had heard, that
Yep.
it was legal being looked over.
Yep,
Awesome.
we went through 2 firms and got it.
Nice. Any other questions for Nate?
Looks like they've been busy.
Yes.
Mhm.
Thank you, Nate.
Feel better, man.
Thank you.
Yes, yeah.
Ooh, that's not a fun one.
Yeah. All right, new board business, I think we're up to. Budget development update. I think you've got, is there more to update us than other than tools? You get it?
I was gonna say, sure. When do we get it? When do we get it?
You will be receiving it, but
Oh, yeah.
I think our goal tonight, correct me if I'm wrong, Jane, is just to make sure it's in your hands, not necessarily work through and ask questions. We certainly do not wish to talk about positions or people, obviously in a public setting. So that would be reserved for our next meeting that we have, or the next time that we would meet to discuss with, but we just want to make sure that you you receive it. It has a preliminary bottom line figure of minus 2.55%, which we believe can be increased in terms of the amount that we can reduce from it.
Mhm.
We met with senior leadership last week. Was that last week or was it Monday?
That was Monday.
Yep, so
Monday.
So October has been long, huh?
2 days ago.
And that was November.
Yeah, I know. Seems like it's hanging out.
And as we worked through it, we saw where we have opportunities. I laid out an expectation that we strive for minus 4%.
Wow.
Doesn't mean that we'll get there. It just means that our goal is a reduction of 4%. And so we think that there are some levers in there that can be pulled, and we want to give the board an opportunity to review it before we get into that conversation.
Mhm.
A budget
Alright.
that is down is a good budget.
And within increases in revenue,
Right.
offsetting some of the revenue we've lost with the bond,
Yeah,
right? But with the increase of 26 tuitions from Winchester,
Mm.
big.
and then other revenue that we perhaps weren't counting on, small increases here and there, puts us in a really good position to calculate what we hope to be a lower school tax than what people have seen in a while.
Right, I look forward to seeing it.
Fantastic.
Anybody have any questions? Strategic plan. I didn't get any feedback to my letter, so I'm guessing it was okay.
Brilliant.
Okay.
We're gonna wanna probably get an electronic signature so we can add it to that.
Mhm.
So that's about 99% done. Talking about it in my superintendent report right before you came in, April. There's a mistake in the introduction where we do not have a 115 acre campus. We have a 19 acre campus. It was a placeholder and it's on me. I forgot to get that number to Sean, so he's fixing that.
Okay.
Kudos to Sean Leary on laying all of that out.
Looks great.
Working with Jeannie Sturgis for suggestions, editorial layout and grammar and such. The senior leadership team went through it, added their suggestions as well. We're really at a point now where we're asking the board to approve it with the anticipated edit of 19 acres. So that we can begin planning out in earnest, getting it circulated around town to households, to our families, to our staff, having principals talk through it, and share it with staff, and really start posting activities so that we can get moving on a progress bar on our website that people can go to and hold us accountable to make sure we're actually working towards goals that we said we wanted to work towards in the plan. So that's where we are. It's a beautiful document online, obviously on this kind of paper.
It's still
It's a lot of
beautiful.
color,
It is beautiful.
especially when you haven't had one in a long time. I know you were
Yes.
particularly excited about this, April. So,
Yes.
so we're pleased to be able to provide it for the board. A lot of time went into it, a lot of input. I mean, really a lot of community stakeholder input. And so we're proud of it. And now we want to start working in earnest towards some of the desired outcomes so we can be more proud of it.
So your motion to accept it is written with the
Please.
edit coming?
I make that motion.
I'll sec, can I second?
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, I don't know, we were all involved in it. So I guess it's fine.
we certainly can.
Okay, second.
Any more discussion on it?
I do have to say something because it's really bugging me.
Sure.
There's a spelling error, like on the front cover page.
On the front,
District spelled, it's missing.
it is.
Good catch.
Where's the
Missing
gold
an eye.
star?
Nice.
He definitely wins. I was looking.
I
was
love
like,
that
don't see
because
it.
you know
There's
what?
a gold star.
Jameson, there's this saying
Right
that
there.
if a fish were an anthropologist, the last thing it would discover is water. Because when you work with something so much,
Yeah.
the same
Yeah.
thing
Yeah.
all the time, so gold star for you, my friend.
Yes.
Very.
All right, so 98.79%.
Well, and now I feel like he should read through the whole thing.
I
and
know,
make sure that's
right?
it.
Please, by all means.
Yes.
It's sad that every single one of us looked at this. and
I
never-
know.
I went through it 100 times.
How many times online have you seen those things when it's misspelled and you
Yeah.
just read it right though?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was, like he said, it was on the front page and I was still
I was
looking at
like,
it.
where is it? Well, I thought, boy, is he gonna be embarrassed.
I'm sitting there going, I don't even know if any of them are spelled right.
Nice.
Thank you very much for that. All right, so with those 2 edits.
2 edits.
And any future grammatical.
Right.
And
Yes.
technically what we call,
Anything else we
we
find?
call those Scrivener's edits, right? So,
Scrivener's.
like when you pass a warrant and there's something
Mhm.
misspelled, it's a Scrivener's note, it's still fine.
Yeah. All right, so all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved.
That concludes the strategic planning process. Well done.
It's been so
That-
long.
It really
It's been a
didn't take
process.
that long though.
But we've been working on it for years
Yeah, I know.
before that.
Well, and it's been even before that.
Yeah.
This has been,
Yeah. Yeah.
over a decade.
It's been good. It's been
But the
finally.
real work.
Yes, the real work starts now.
A lot of work.
All right, thanks everybody for their work on that. Policy readings, final. Right, policies.
I love policies.
It's our main,
I'm
it's
so
our,
happy for you.
it's one of our main duties.
We try to make it easy for you.
I know, I like that you guys go through it first. I have a lot of-
Dr. Ryan tries to make it easy.
We're led by, obviously, the courageous Kendra.
You are such a liar. Why?
Door holes down here.
I was gonna say, corn donuts.
Just trying to see if I made any notes. I don't think I did. Just wanted to double check.
Really would like.
Tonight's a good one. As well.
All right, so does anybody have any questions on any of them? No, okay. No, we're good.
All of our questions out.
So as a group, I will not list out all the letters.
Come on.
Anna,
Barrel through them.
I need a motion to accept them, as a final reading as a group.
I will second.
I will make that motion and we
I
already
don't wanna watch us
seconded.
screw this up. And neither does anybody else.
I need more discussion on them.
we could always do the school board delegate thing again.
That's what I was
Let's not do
thinking.
that.
Wasn't saying.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved.
It's already done now, we can't go back.
Okay. Now we're on to first readings.
So on your first reads, you have policies that are predominantly edited based on ED 306, which are the minimum academic standards that were changed. And so that's what most of these updates are. There are some that are rescinded, those are really easy. There are 2 that I'm pulling, IKFG, career readiness. Karen had provided some input. We had some discussion at policy committee. We didn't want to rush through it. And so we pulled it because we'll work through the language that Karen suggested and we'll not revise it, but we'll add those edits and have it on the December slate, okay? So we'll pull IKFG and then IMAH, we're gonna pull that. I'm gonna have the wellness committee review that. IMAH, which is health education, daily physical activity. So those are the only 2 that we're gonna pull off of this slate. The others are on the slate for first read. One policy that I was wondering if the board would be willing to waive first read is policy IMG, animals in schools. The board asked us to add the liability insurance disclaimer in there. I used the language from the therapy animals policy. I did add that, and we would feel more comfortable with the board approving that this evening. It's the only language we added to it.
So instead of doing a first reading, do a final, make it a final.
You would vote to accept policy IMG as written.
I make a motion, we accept policy IMG as written.
I will second.
Any more discussion on it? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? So moved.
I just wanna bring up that I did ask while we were in policy if we have received insurance on the animal
For the
that was
snake.
brought in, and we have not. But the snake is in the building and has been in the building for the last few weeks without what was asked.
I think it was gonna be covered under her home policy, right? Which she probably has, she just hasn't given us a copy of it.
So they shared that with us and it doesn't qualify
Okay,
because they need to list us as an insured.
okay,
And the homeowner policy
Yeah,
didn't
they're
do that.
right.
We've sent that back to them and requested that they get the appropriate coverage,
Okay.
not heard back.
Okay.
And now that we have policy IMG in place, allows us to have a different conversation.
Well, hopefully that happens. We've had lots of positive things.
Absolutely,
Mhm.
absolutely.
So I have a couple of questions, I know, sorry, on these first readings. I just gotta find them, sorry.
I know.
Where am
I
I?
never have any questions, right?
We fly through those names.
On. What is this, on IKF?
That one we expected to generate some conversation.
I know, I was actually.
There was a question about the certificate of whatever for special education students.
I've worked with Madam Wallace and she believes certificate of achievement.
Yes,
That was my vote.
yes.
I would agree with that,
Okay.
It's much better
but
terminology.
we
Yes.
certainly want to consult with the director of student services.
Oh, because you had changed it in there. Okay,
Yes.
sorry.
We did. I think Maria became occupied with another function of her role, one of the 200. I know, I only see 200. So we'll just have to go back through that, Maria, make the changes. I got you.
And also just as an FYI, I talked to Kathy Johnson in reference to, because when they get their certificates, the achievement is already as something that's approved, so we don't have to spend more money to get a different terminology on a diploma. So that's an added factor that it's not gonna cost us anymore.
Nice, look at you.
Do more of that.
Try.
Okay.
If Wayne had this gold star, I would take it from him and give it to you.
He gets it.
I know.
Since
he
we
did.
all looked at that, we didn't see it.
Like 500 times. But we teach spelling, it's okay.
Those scores, they explain themselves.
We're such good spellers that we just looked over it.
Our
There's
brain
a
was-
section in here as well at the bottom of page 1, section B, early graduation,
Hmm,
new language. I put a note, do we want to consider this in the policy? There is an early graduation policy that you already have.
right,
It's up to the board.
So it's kind of redundant.
It is.
Do they at least
The early
match?
grad policy is IKFA,
Which is also in
which
there.
is, yeah, which is
Right.
the same policy.
So if we could get rid of.
We could either take
IKFA.
it out of IKF or rescind IKFA.
mhm.
And because I don't want to mess with the formatting, I prefer you rescind IKFA.
Well, and I feel like if it's already included in one, then yeah.
Right.
We don't need to repeat it again.
I would, sorry, can I
Yes,
make a suggestion?
Well,
Please.
this brings in the high school principal, so
Yes.
there is,
I
an
guess it involves
expectation.
you.
yes.
It's stated in the handbook, but not in the policy, and I would like if it were reflected in policy that there be a deadline by which a student needs to request early graduation. Because if a student, say, is a junior and is gonna request early graduation for that year, like, we have to have time to order their gown and order their diploma, like, we have to include them in things like that. And that starts really in September.
Mhm.
So I would be comfortable with a deadline of September 30th, but not later, to graduate in that year.
could I make a recommendation that we have the policy point to the student handbook?
Mhm.
And
And
in the
then I
student
can update.
handbook, you can put whatever date you
Okay.
want, and it can change whenever you want to have it changed.
Okay.
That way, we don't always have to redo the policy
Yep.
whenever you want to change the date.
Okay.
Okay,
That works.
so let's see.
Teamwork.
So under early graduation, we would just need to add the,
See the handbook for deadline.
Under approval by the high school principal and in accordance with the Hinsdale High School Student Handbook. Minimum 4-unit requirement per year per enrolled student shall be waived, and the student shall be awarded a high school diploma. So it points to the handbook, and then whatever's listed under the early grad section of your handbook is what rules.
Okay.
Okay?
I don't know why we ever tried to outward him.
I would never. I was like, that.
Whatever
sport,
you
man.
said,
It's a team sport.
ditto.
I love just telling him, make it happen. I think that. And then Maria always writes it all. It's great.
Yeah, I spelled district without the last I.
Okay, but nobody caught it. Tricky eye.
So and did you decide to rescind IKFA?
Yeah, we should make a motion.
I make a
for that.
motion that we rescind IKFA.
And I will second.
Any more discussion on that? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So moved. Still looks like, it's all the same credits that we had before.
Do you want to talk through the
No.
changes in credits, Anna?
Sure. I mean, the number of credits are the same, but what is credited is different, right?
Yes.
A little
Yes.
bit, yeah.
A little bit. There's a nuance in
A little
what the
tweak.
base diploma is and what the,
Yeah.
So currently the default is the Hinsdale diploma, which is 24.5 credits. And
Mhm.
there's a process by which students or parents can request that a student be moved to the state diploma track, which is 20 credits. What this reflects and what David and I are proposing is that the state graduation requirements would be the default, and that the Hinsdale diploma requirements 24.5 would be a diploma with distinction, a Hinsdale diploma with distinction. There are some important changes that begin on, it's called page 4 of 9, the beginning with next year's freshmen. In place of 4 credits of English, it's 3.5 credits of English, and they added a half credit of logic and rhetoric, which doesn't have to be a standalone class, but we think based on our PD that we went to in the summer would be embedded somewhere between English and social studies classes. And there also has to be at least a half a credit worth of writing through those 3.5 credits of English. The 3 credits of math is in line with the current New Hampshire State Diploma track, but it is a step back from our current Hinsdale math credits, which is 4. But as Dr. Ryan talked about in policy, it's becoming increasingly difficult for students to get those 4 credits of math within their 4 years here based on staffing, class availability, student population. So this is a more realistic, but still includes algebraic concepts, and they have to do at least half a credit of statistics and data analysis. The social studies credits are in line with the work that Jeannie did with the social studies department over the last couple of years, so that's good. And then everything else remains largely the same, with the exception of what was ICT, information and communications technology, is now digital literacy, which is a little more modern.
So if we're adopting the state 20 credits, are we still going to put all the students on the Hinsdale credit path, or are we only gonna do that for kids who are doing well? Like,
So
you know
what we're
what I
doing,
mean?
we're recognizing our high school diploma as needing a minimum of 20 credits in line with the New Hampshire minimum academic standards. So the Hinsdale High School diploma is a 20 credit diploma.
Mhm.
The Hinsdale High School diploma with distinction is 24.5 credits. And what it does is it requires you to take an additional year of math or additional credit of math,
Mhm.
as well as most likely world languages, because you increase the number of electives. It also meets the requirements for the New Hampshire State Scholars. So it's a twofer. A lot of students who are looking to go to a 2 or 4 year school, they're going to need 2 years of world language. And so they'll be moving towards the academic with distinction.
Mhm.
A large majority of our students will achieve at least the minimum of 20, some of whom may go to 21 or 22,
Mhm.
based on the electives, or the ELOs that they take, or whatever alternative ed. It recognizes the flexibility in the minimum academic standards now, that if you can align an activity to a set of competencies, a student can earn credit.
Mhm.
No one knows that better than Karen Thompson. And so that work is going to continue, but we would recognize our high school diploma, all students I didn't say special education or regular education. I said all students achieve a 20 credit diploma, the Hinsdale High School diploma. Those that want to exceed are welcome to do so, and we're gonna push kids to do that. That's the recommendation.
That would be my only hesitation, because it would be like. Dumbing down isn't the right word to use,
No.
you know what I mean?
Mhm.
To our certificate, you know what I mean? Like, I wanna make sure that we're gonna be making sure that kids are pushed to try to get the, you know what I mean?
Well, if we set the grade promotion,
Because kids will, I mean, my
Requirements?
kid would probably do the bare minimum if they could.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But because we were 24 and a half, he has done more and has been pushing me more.
But maybe that's the bare minimum for him and that's the top for someone else.
Right.
But that's what I'm saying, like,
And if
I just
you're
wanna
not
make sure that we're
college
going to,
bound.
yeah, which I get,
Taking some of these classes is.
yeah,
That's when school feels like a waste of time.
yes.
David, may I just?
by all means.
I guess I'm
think-
not explaining what I'm feeling.
I know, I hear what you're saying, and this is certainly a discussion long before we made this
Mhm.
move. I think what this is gonna allow us to do is exactly what our strategic plan is talking about, which is gonna force us to personalize learning for every kid. So it's important for us to say to every kid, as an advisor, as a teacher, whatever it is, what's your pathway?
Mhm.
Which way do you wanna go? And then push them to whatever that means. It might not mean, and sometimes really doesn't mean 24 credits are needed.
Right.
And I can speak to that probably better than most when I hear business partners say, they don't need 4 years of math to be a firefighter.
Mhm.
They need 2 years of solid algebra to go past the firefighter one, you know, so I
Right.
think this allows us, or forces us into that gives us the opportunity to really walk the talk that we're
Okay.
saying.
All right.
So in no way do I think that this is dumbing it down. I think in essence, it's doing just the opposite. It's allowing us to beef it up in the right ways
Okay.
instead of the wrong ways. I feel like the way we had it, we were saying you have to take more math, you have to do this, when that wasn't their path. And if we're really gonna do this, then I think this is the way we're gonna get there.
That makes more sense to me now, so thank you.
And when we look at what the number of credits required to be promoted to the next grade, you know, we can play with that because, you know, I wouldn't want it to be 5 credits per grade level because it's a 7-period day, right? So freshman, sophomore could be 6 credits per grade level, 5 for junior, senior, which creates more flexibility in their later schedule to do ELO or alternative education. That's a 22 credit diploma right there. So they've already exceeded the 20 credit. And so those 2 extra credits that, you know, they're exploring, it's low stakes in terms of their diploma, but real high stakes for them and their passion and what they want to explore. So it does give them the room to be able to do that.
Okay.
So it really comes with whatever, you know, or however you and, you know, your team at the middle high school want to build in, what does a logical progression look like for the number of credits to move on to the next grade level?
And I was kind of explaining, like, when we were in policy and I was asking questions going over it, is that especially for our 2 boys who had a massive case of senioritis and already had pretty much their credits senior year, for me, I feel like it would have been way more beneficial for our 2 boys had they graduated and been in the workforce, like they had already gone into it rather than be here that last year, which was really unfortunate for them because they could have already been established somewhere in a career going a whole year in advance and already set up in a different position. Hunter is in a position where he could have purchased a home, but because he didn't have the credit or the work history for 2 years, he couldn't, and that would have allowed him to, and he would have been able to with the credits he had already had. And for the job he's in right now and the career he's going in, he was already tapped out in school at that point. So it's really a positive for those kids, like especially like our 2 boys who are already in that type of environment.
And you can still get 24 credits, but you're not locked into it.
Right.
It has to be in math. It has to be,
Yeah,
it can be
yeah.
in something you're more passionate about, and then we're encouraging rather than
I think it's really like putting us in like a whole different, like especially with our ELO program, and we're saying like, hey, it's okay to not have these kids forced into a classroom learning when they're really not learning. Like, and that's like the frustrating part, is that we can say that they're here learning, but they're not taking anything away, some of them. And so this is just such an amazing opportunity to get more to graduate, to get more life. So I think it's a really great opportunity for a lot of our students.
Provides a little relief for our students who want to attend CTE program,
Yeah,
right? So
You're not
you don't have to-
overburdened.
and their
a lot of
parents,
kids
to be
don't-
honest.
They don't choose CTE coursework because they have to earn credits to get a 24, you know? So it just, I think it just opens a lot more.
It opens life up for them a little bit sooner, and not even sooner, but maybe when they're ready, more so than trapping them as a kid when the world's waiting.
I think the next one, I have a question on the rescinding of the ILBAA.
Yes.
Is it somewhere else? Like
Basically just
the
kind of,
competencies and assessments?
it was, it should be, in with, is it the alternative credit options? Oh, that could be something too. I think it was in IKF. My answer is yes, I just don't have the evidence to support that answer,
All right, I just wanted to make sure it was somewhere and there, you
but
know.
I'll find it.
And I mean, the NHSBA are the ones who rescinded it, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it got subsumed based on, again, the change in the minimum academic standards. Essentially what's happened is the minimum academic standards has completely redefined what it means to earn a credit. Has nothing to do with the time in the classroom you see. You don't even physically have to be in a classroom to earn a credit, as long as you are demonstrating mastery of the competencies for that course. So digital literacy, which Anna alluded to, can be embedded in a class that we're already offering. So a robotics class or AV cybersecurity. Students can also earn dual credit for their digital literacy requirement, and they can check it off without having to take a digital literacy class. Rhetoric and logic is another half credit that can be easily built into another course we already offer. So it's, you know, while I worked on the task force for 2 years for the minimum academic standards. So I understand the direction they were going in, but they were going in such a way that my 2 other certified colleagues and I said, we can't be a part of this. And thankfully, other professional educators from around the state kind of picked up the mantle on the other end of it and helped reshape it and find some compromise. So whatever we're used to is subsumed now into some of the new regulations. That I'm certain of. Where I'm gonna find it, that's the hard part.
Yeah.
It's in there
As long
somewhere.
as it's
April.
there. I just wanted to make sure that we didn't have, you know, we weren't just throwing it out the window.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
The
yeah.
change, the benefit to the change is, like we talked about when we looked at alternative education plans in October.
Mhm.
Kids can do anything that they can show evidence is aligned with a competency and get credit for it.
Mhm.
That wasn't always the case. So somebody like Hunter Parker would have had much more flexibility in that last semester to go to work and get credit for it.
Mhm.
This is what it does make it available to us a lot more. It's in policy now, so.
It's great.
Love that for us.
Did anybody else have any questions on those?
No, you do a great job at that.
I'm sorry.
You guys
No,
so.
You just do, you're doing great.
It wasn't even snarky, it was just kind.
Right. Oh, that damn April, she keeps making it takes so long.
Let's go fast.
Policies, I know, sorry, I showed up.
Okay,
Policies for first reading, I need a motion to accept them as a group.
I will make that motion.
I will second it.
minus the
The
IMG,
IK or the
IMG, we did that already.
And we're also taking out IKFG and IMAH.
Yes, right,
So minus those.
so that motion.
Yep, that.
Maria's like,
Maria?
got that, Maria? Maria's annoyed, she's like, I already know that.
She's like, I already wrote it down, it's fine.
So I need a
Those
second,
out already, the group.
so I need a second.
You got one.
Did I?
Yep.
Okay. Any more discussion? All
bet.
those in favor?
Aye.
Any of those opposed? So moved. Thank you. And we're on to other business. Is there any other business? Hearing none, we're moving on to, does anybody need admin to stay for committee reports? Do you guys need any admin to stay for committee reports?
I mean, Jane's still, so.
All right, so if the rest of the admin besides Dr. Ryan and Jane would like to leave the meeting now, more than welcome, or stay, either way.
Well, you're always
Right.
welcome.
Have a great night.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
I'm gonna drink it when I'm walking.
Don't do that. Oh, can you now?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Geez,
I was like, I heard you couldn't.
So much for a day off yesterday.
I have been knee deep in like stuff.
No, we
I'm
couldn't, you're right, we
cleaning.
couldn't.
Yeah.
Don't say need even a water problem.
No, no, not knee deep in a water. I've been
No,
trying
no,
to
those people
make space
will
in
be
my house
awake.
for an office because I'm gonna be
Okay,
full-time
whatever.
home.
Oh,
like,
good.
You'll still be awake if I go
So
home now.
I,
I'm paying a
my
little more.
bedroom is where I have to clean out is where all the stuff that I is, so like it's.
I gotta go to Walmart this year.
Process.
Sure.
Sounds like it.
That's
'cause
what I
you
was in
got
the
into
middle
it
of, I know.
when my friend Kayla called you.
No, and I was like, I'm gonna call her.
I'm like, I hope there's no dust in my hair, I mean, it's a mess.
I thought maybe she was waking you up.
No, no, no,
That was kind of what I thought.
I just lost track of time because I was so.
Bye,
It's
Dr.
the
Ryder.
first
Bye,
time
Michelle.
since I've been on the board that you go
Have
late
a good
or
night,
not
Mike.
here. That's, I
That's
think
true.
you'll be just fine.
Thanks. Donuts?
Yes?
No.
Actually, just leave them right there. They're only a couple. That's okay.
Gotta eat them now.
On the way out.
Right now.
On the way out.
Eat them like
I
Sam.
don't
Those
want
things
them
keep
right
Bring
going
your
by
other
me and I
ones.
keep just passing them on.
Nobody
Good
eats
for
like
you.
Sam.
That's true.
All right, so we're up to committee reports.
Let's go.
Budget committee, we did have a meeting.
I
I
heard
know,
that.
yes, we had a meeting and it
How
was just
did it
like a
go?
preliminary meeting to kind of like get everybody back in the groove of it, I think.
Well-
Wasn't so, there was, a couple of opinions, but other than that, not much got done. So we do have a meeting again this month, so
And that'll be busy.
I think so, yeah. I know the town was working on their budget on Monday, I believe, so I wasn't able to attend that, so. We'll have more information hopefully at that meeting, the town anyway. Community connections, I'm posting, I'm getting lots of info. I think I'm doing pretty good, so,
Doing great.
thanks.
Once we get the final strategic plan,
Oh, yeah,
not
you
the
put that up.
97.95%, the full one, and we'll get your signature on it, then
Yes.
that would be great to go
Okay.
on that draft.
Perfect. Facilities,
Like I said earlier, I asked Jane, well, asked Nate, the lighting process was legal, last thing new, and now it's a go, so
sweet,
that's awesome, and, he just went over basic things that they were working on, and it sounded like everything was going pretty smooth, had a whole different layout of how he did it. And it was, very informative and kept it going and made it so that we didn't have to sit here and bounce around with some of the things, so it
Sweet.
went really well.
House, you guys met
We
last
Board
month,
haven't met
right?
again.
Yep, it's quarterly.
Legislation, there is a ton going on. I have actually, the NHSBA is doing a preview tomorrow, at noon, if you haven't signed up for it yet already, but, which I will be.
Oh, they'll record it though, right?
Yeah, they'll have recording.
Yeah.
If you sign up for it, they'll send you the recording.
Yeah.
So if you register for it and can't make it, you also get to get it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be, there's a lot,
It's a lot.
a lot of bad
I-
stuff.
Yeah, just don't get too worked up,
No.
but it's hard not to.
I
Yeah,
know, that's why I don't know if I
Well,
wanna know.
Really
or-
early in the process.
I know, so maybe I'll wait. I might just wait. 'cause
it's good to be informed.
I know, but is it?
it is for this stuff, I
The
believe.
regional SAU thing.
Yes,
Really moving. It's got a lot
there's
of
a couple of
steam.
different things that are just.
Really?
Yeah, but I don't think they're gonna be able to get anywhere on it this year
Vermont's
because they're-
trying to do that
even
too.
the committee of, the representatives
People, yeah.
who were the committee that worked on it, they have many questions that they
Mhm.
can't
Oh,
resolve.
good.
Yeah,
That's great.
Yes, yes.
so there's that.
Mm.
Personnel committee, we met last month, I can't remember. We talked about some
I-
stuff.
I
I
don't
was
think
not
so.
there.
Talked about personnel.
Yes, we did. And we have another one coming up on the 28th, I believe, or
And we
something
will
like that.
talk about more personnel.
Yes, we will.
The 28th, isn't that like
I don't,
right after
I think the
Thanksgiving?
28th was when we met.
Yeah.
Thank you.
18th
Yes,
makes more
right.
sense.
That's
That
right.
makes more sense.
But next Tuesday.
Like, that's
Yes.
like Thanksgiving.
I know. I think that's why we
The
moved it.
day after.
A policy committee.
Just talked about it all.
Oh, yeah, you guys have been busy.
You're so happy about it, huh?
You were amazing.
Thank you.
Select board.
I will start going to that.
Mark, yeah, Mark, what?
Speak
how's
up, buddy,
that
wake
going?
up. He couldn't come tonight for personal reasons.
Oh,
so
okay.
He did tell me, I just wasn't here to let you know, so.
Oh.
A strategic plan steering committee, we're done.
We did it.
You can
Check.
probably take that
Yeah,
You
we can
can.
probably remove that
reports.
committee from the
Park it.
committee reports, yay.
Now I look like a slacker.
You always go to select board.
No, that's okay.
Yes, actually, you
Yeah,
could.
no, no, go.
I have meetings the rest of the week.
Tuition exploratory committee,
Haven't met yet.
Nope.
wellness.
Good thing Jane's here.
We met on the 29th
Sounds like you have a policy to
of
wrestle with.
October.
Oh, goody.
It was very low participation. In fact, I kind of had to start the meeting and I even had to step out. Gretchen Higgins very graciously stepped in on my behalf. Our next meeting is January 28th. A lot of what we wanted to do was kind of set our direction, but with so few people, it was kind of hard to set a direction. But I do know they want to revisit the wellness policy, specifically around caffeinated drinks.
All right.
Didn't we put that in?
We did,
Oh,
we
I thought
talked
we
about it.
did.
That's why they
I've
wanna
been telling my
revisit it.
kid, you're gonna get in trouble. It's in the policy.
I went back
Okay.
and looked and we did.
I thought we
Yep.
did.
Yep.
All right, citizens' comments. I wasn't here for the first one. Does anybody have anything?
We didn't have any for the first one.
Okay,
No, I'm all good.
Thanks, Mike.
thanks, Mike.
I'm all good.
Thank you. Miriam,
No comments. Thank you, guys.
thank you. And that's Nate. Anything else to add, Nate? Just kidding. All right, so we need a motion to go into non-public under,
It's reputation,
Right.
so, compensation, finalizing consent. I had to call it for a
C.
while.
all right?
I'll make,
C,
I'll make that motion.
thank you.
Is that the only one?
It's the only one, it's gonna be less than 30 seconds.
See.
Oh, wow. Love that. Did you
Quick,
say you
someone
made the
second it.
motion?
I
Second.
second it.
Roll call,
Yes.
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 It's not really a roll
It's
call.
not a roll call for if you're a non-public?
It's Wayne, yes.
Oh,
Taylor.
Kind, yes.
Yes.
And I was one,
oh,
I,
it needs to be a roll
I
call.
don't
I
ever
need to
want
call
anyone
her
to get
name.
us on process, so
I know.
just-
And we're all
I'm
like, yes,
sorry.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Kendra,
Yes.
okay, April, yes.
Uh-huh.
Now it's a roll call.
Yes,
done.
so we're not, all
non-public.
right, let me close that door
Shut
just
that
so.
camera off.
I'm on